What's going on, mixed reactions? It is time for the NBA playoffs. I'm excited. We got Lakers Pelicans tonight. We got Kings Warriors Battle of the Bay. Loser of that game goes home. I can't really put into words how excited I am, man. This is gonna be a great playoff. How are you doing today, Casey?
Oh, dude, I'm doing great. I think it's one of the best times of the year if you're a basketball fan. The NBA playoffs is such a emotional roller coaster for most of these fans, and I am beyond ready for it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm ready for it too, man. Celtics finished the regular season. I had it play. It was like 65 at 17 or 64 at 18.
64 and 18, which was one off from the record I said they were gonna have.
What did you say? 65 and 17.
Yeah, if you remember a couple months ago on the show, we were talking about the Celtics gonna finish, and you're like, oh shit, they're probably gonna have to finish like 17 and 4 to get to that record. And I was like, oh, they'll get it, and they fell a game short because every prediction I make is wrong because the universe hates me. But
I
I'm
mean, that's
doing great.
that's pretty close though. I mean, and a thing too before we get into the playoffs is what do you feel? I mean, I guess kind of is related to the playoffs, but what do you feel like about the strength of the conferences? Like, do you feel like what do you think one is stronger than the other at the
Oh
moment?
my god, yes, the West is so much stronger.
Yeah, because I was having well, not really an argument. It was we were having a discussion earlier in the group. And this guy was talking about the team 7 through 10 define the balance of your conference, or not the balance. Sorry, it that shows how strong your conference is. And
Yeah.
I mean, I can get that. I think there is something to be said when you have Boston, Milwaukee, is New York a real championship contender?
No.
But the East,
No.
the East is relatively top heavy, and then the West you go down, and I mean, look. I mean, if you look at the play-in teams in the 9 and 10 in the East, the Bulls have 39 wins, 43 losses. The Hawks are 36 and 46. I was just talking about that shit with Jason the other day, man, and I don't really know. I'm sure they can make this happen. If you win less than a certain percentage of games, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Like you
Ian,
like
think about this. The Warriors, they're the 10th seed. They finished the second half of the season 27 and 12.
and they yeah 46 and 36. But the thing about that with the I don't know, man. It's just it's I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a really tough playoffs. But I mean the East, bro, like you look at that shit, like, oh, that's what I was saying, 36 and 46. Like you should have to have a certain winning percentage. If you don't, there should be a gatekeeper winning percentage. Like I'm not saying even you have to have a winning record, but I mean I looked at the Hawks shit the other day. How many percentage of their games have they've won? They've won 43%, dude. Like barely over 40. Like
So
I
what are
mean
you suggesting though? Because
I'm
it's
uh-huh.
it's obviously an East versus West matchup when it comes to the playoffs. Are you saying maybe throw some teams in the conference in that seeding of the playoffs?
That's a good
Like
I
I
mean
don't
well
think
no
that would work.
my
Like say
proposal uh-huh.
throwing the Lakers in the East, like they'd be like the what, the fourth or the fifth seed?
So, well, no, I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm saying you could keep. I'm not saying praise all the good teams that are stuck in the West. I'm saying punish the shitty teams that are somehow able to get to the playoffs in the East. Like if, for example, if you have Atlanta,
You
they're
cut
the 10.
out.
I won't even include Chicago as the 9 seed in this because they won 47% of their games. But okay, you have 7, you have 9 teams. Just cut them out. Just change the number of teams that make the playoffs. You might not have to do it every year, but bro, like I'm not a fan of it. Like it's not even the playing so much. We have 10 playoff teams, bro.
I
What's
know, but
10
you
of
can't do that though, Ian. They have the play-in tournament for a reason. Like I
Yeah, you can do
understand
that. You could be a gatekeeper. Why not? Why can't there be?
because if you're gonna have a play-in tournament, you have to have it consistent every year.
Oh, and it can't. Okay, well, we can go back to the standings and see how many teams have had that shitty of a winning percentage. But dude, I mean, why
So
why
what
do
do
you
you
have to have it
suggest
consistent?
though?
I'm
What
saying
do you
like just
suggest?
kick the team that's that shitty out of the play-in and just okay. So this we'd had 7, 8, 9 have
So what,
Miami
eight
and
and nine and eight play each other?
9 and 8 play, and the winner plays set. Wait, hold
That's
on.
why it doesn't work, Ian.
I mean, yeah, it does. Hold on, I had this shit figured out earlier. Because if you take Atlanta out, you got 7, 8, 9. Oh, I mean, then yeah, and then you just have Miami and Chicago play for the 8 seed. Boom, baya. You don't have the 7, 8, 9, 10, and then winner, loser, all that shit. You should not be. We saw the thing that pisses me off about the NFL is if you have a shitty record, you're getting a home playoff game because you're not getting a wild card. You know what I mean, with 7 wins. Like the fact that the Beast Quake even had a chance to happen was ridiculous. The Seahawks were 7-9 that year. But I think I'm kind of rambling at this point.
Well, okay, I understand from what you I get your point. I just don't think it would work. Like, because
Oh.
you're saying don't even reward bad teams with the possibility of making the playoffs.
No, don't.
Because in the NBA, even a bad team can catch a hot stretch. And so what I'm assuming what you don't want to see happen is hurt the integrity of the playoffs and say
Yeah,
that
to an
10
extent.
seed that 10 seed has a two hot nights in a row and they win both of their play-in games and then go to up to the 8 seed and then just get swept by the 1 seed and make it not even a compelling series.
Yeah, I mean to an extent, because I don't think Atlanta in any fucking world is beating Boston. I mean, I don't care if they brought Dominique Wilkins and they got primed Dikembe Mutombo. They're
No,
not beating Boston.
they're losing in
But
5 to Boston.
yeah, I just think that if you have that shitty of a team, like it's not even necessarily. I mean, I wouldn't want to see them, kind of beat a team that I feel like is better because they get lucky a couple of nights. But it's not even that. Like, I don't think you should be allowed to be that. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to be that piss poor and still make the playoffs. Like, whether they win when they get into the playoffs isn't even like they shouldn't even get the chance. I mean, granted, we've kind of seen LeBron. I don't know if the word is cherry pick, but kind of pick and choose, when he wants to play, but he still manages to get himself in the top 8 every year. If you can't, and you can't even win more of your games than you lose. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel the same way about the NFL is a little bit harder because there's less teams that make the playoffs to begin with, so you'd have to switch a lot around if you took out. Well, I mean, like I was saying, then you'd have to check out the fact that the division winners and you can't make division. Hell, why don't we make the divisions actually significant in the NBA? Do you know the Clippers won the division this year?
I did not know that. No.
Boston won the division. I don't even know if they were going to
No, they didn't, Ian.
You fucking liar.
I'm sick of your tomfoolery.
What do you say we get into the pick segment?
Well, hold on. Here, before we get into that, I was going to actually swing something by you really quickly here, and I kind of want your opinion on it because you have an astute basketball mind, and you kind of have your own set of opinions in these type of situations. So there's a rumor, not even a rumor, but speculation going around tonight that during this play-in game against the Los Angeles Lakers and the New Orleans Pelicans, the Lakers may not be too keen on winning this
Oh, did you see my Facebook
Denver
post?
in the first round. Now, I did not actually. That's why I'm asking about it now. So I'll just finish the point. I'm actually interested to hear because if you know about it. So, what is your thoughts on it? Because if it pans out, sure, it's good. They'll play OKC in the first round. But say they're not too keen on winning tonight, and they do win, they do lose. They still have to go and win against either the Kings or the Warriors, and those are not teams that they fare too well against. The Kings have had the Lakers number this year, and the Warriors. All it takes is Steph to have a stroke of Steph Curry in a sense, and go 9 for 10 from the 3, and they could be bounced out against, especially when it's a team like the Pelicans that the Lakers have absolutely owned. You would think the Lakers are going to win this game. Currently, right now, sitting at 11-10 New Orleans. But what do you think on that? Do you feel the Lakers may not be too keen on winning tonight and they're going to take the risk of beating the Kings or the Warriors at home to play the Thunder? Or do you think they're going all out tonight just and saying, fuck it, bring on Denver?
Yeah, that's a good question. And my brother, shout out Mike Verlette. He was the one that kind of brought up the same point you did. He said that no, I put that the Lakers. There's no incentive for them to. Well, I'll tell you exactly what I put. I put Lakers are going to lose on purpose tonight. 0 point in playing to win when a loss serves you better. My brother said no thanks, Steph, and anything can happen. Steph and anything can happen one game, and we always lose to Sac. Go win Lakers in 7 over Denver, and then shout out to my nephew as well because he tagged my nephew. He's a big hoops fan. My nephew Cohen. I get what he's saying. Like my brother and you both are saying the same thing. You guys make very valid points. Like in the NBA, like these are pros. Do you want to put your whole season on one game against Steph Curry? or I mean, even a team as good as Sacramento. So I could like that is the only thing where I'm like, because at that point, I mean, would you consider that playing with fire, right? I mean, that would be playing with fire.
Absolutely.
You're gonna fuck around and get burned, and like I don't know, man. Like LeBron is a pro. Like I mean,
Wait a
how long is
second.
Le? Uh,
Wait a second. I'm so the Kings are the ninth seed.
Two. That's a good question. I forgot. I looked at it earlier.
They
I was
must be because the Warriors are the 10th seed, right? Yeah, so they've got to be the ninth seed.
yeah, so the Kings are at home. I mean, honestly, like because I think the Lakers, if they get to play Oklahoma City, Thunder aren't beating them. Thunder it's
No,
gonna be
it'd be Lakers in 6. It'd be Lakers in 6.
Lakers in 6, Lakers in 7. Thunder is just too young. Like they'll get, bro. The Thunder are good. They'll get there.
They are.
Just not yet. Against LeBron, AD in the playoffs, and how much experience do the Thunder even have? Dude, we might actually see. I don't know if the Lakers are going to be favored, but we might see a 1 seed favored over an 8. I highly doubt that's ever happened before.
You mean an 8 seed fade over a 1 seed?
Right, yeah. Exactly. I know the other way has happened before, but um, like it's tough, man, because
I think the Lakers have to win tonight because you don't want to take that risk.
you don't want to put it in the hand. I mean, exactly. You don't want to take the risk, and you don't want to put it. I wouldn't say in the hands of. There's a lot of different variables that suddenly come into play if you. I mean, whether intentionally or unintentionally lose tonight. You put the hands in the game of Curry. You put the hands in the game of the refs. You put the hands of you can put the game in the hands of AD stepping off the bus and getting an injury. Like there's so many variables that you introduce when you don't go out there and win the game. Like logically I could see it from both ways. I think logically I man, like because I just think like from a matchup perspective, Lakers aren't beating Denver. Like the Lakers can defend the 3. What'd you say?
I was gonna say let's back up on that really quickly here because we don't want to discuss the pick segment yet.
Okay, for sure.
But if you're the Lakers, wouldn't you matchup wise, wouldn't you want the Nuggets in the first round?
Hell fucking no.
No, listen. Opposed to a month into the playoffs when they're in true playoff form.
Now, that is actually, I'm really glad you brought that up because my stance on it is, do you really want I mean, okay, I know the Nuggets swept the Lakers last year when the Lakers were hot. Do you really want an Austin Reed, like a Lakers team that has more experience playing together with momentum to play you if you're Denver? I think you could say the same for both sides. I mean, Denver, like, okay, like you said, we're not going to get into the pick segment. We know they're going to win a series. Like, they're going to win a series. They're going to win 2 series. I think the momentum from the Lakers for winning 1 or 2 series is going to be greater than the Nuggets. Like, with the Nuggets, we expect them to win. The pressure is going to be on the Nuggets the first 2 series.
Fair. That's fair.
If they win golf clap. If the Lakers win the first 2 series, it's going to be bucket perp yellow, whatever fucking song. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. But it's like I don't know, man. I just think the Lakers have the potential to have a lot more. I mean, it's going to be in Denver regardless if they play. Like Denver's going to have home court regardless. So I don't know, man.
This
it's
is
tough.
so.
It's really tough.
This is going to be a hot take, so just bear with me when I say this. Home court advantage in the playoffs in the NBA is kind of overrated. It's just 1 extra game. Like if it goes 7, the Lakers still get 3 games at home.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like every matchup is in Denver. So in a sense, if the Lakers were to handle business at home and just win 1 on the road, they're fine, right?
Yeah.
And if there's any team in basketball or not just any team, any player in basketball that I feel like can steal 1 on the road, I know he's in his 21st season, but it's still LeBron James.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I mean, yeah, no, I feel what you're saying. I don't know if I would say it's overrated. What I would say is I think that home court can be a curse more than people give it credit for because, dude, I honestly feel like if Game 7 was in Miami last year, Boston would have won. Boston was expected to win Game 7. They had just come back. They were playing that incredible shot by Derek White. Fuck Derek White. Lost me money on that bullshit. But you go like I feel like home court, like you have so much expectations, especially when you're the favorite. Like it can definitely work against you. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, like, shit, I mean, you look at the way Miami played last year, bro. Miami played like they have nothing to lose. And that, like, when you don't have home court and you have to go win, and it is the biggest game of that team's season,
Absolutely.
you're going in there like an army. I mean, the whole fucking building hates you, man. You have to have a special team to win on the road, but you also have to have a good, I would still say a really good team to, you know, hey, maybe you might go down 10 in the first quarter. Like we saw Miami just jumped on Boston last year in game 7. Um but going back to your point about how you only get one extra game, true, and you're right. If the Lakers, like, it could go Denver 2, Lakers 2, Denver 1, Lakers 1, Lakers 1, and Lakers win. Like that is how it could go. But I think that the momentum you get by off those first two games, especially because I think Denver, the crowd's loud enough, they're good enough to win the first two games handily. It's gonna make it like that. Those first two games are at home. Now the Lakers are down 0-2. And now maybe their own fans turn on them midway through game 3 because they're like, oh, fuck, the series might be over. And then, so I just think it's a lot that goes
I
into it,
get
man.
that. No, I get that. I understand that.
Mhm.
Here's always kind of been my thoughts on that situation. I feel that a game 7 at home, the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game at the very least are the most important for the home team. Because
fuck yeah. That's a great point.
If you go down early, you start to feel it. You start to feel that pressure. As where when you're the road team, you kind of expect it for the first 5 to 10 minutes that they're going to be hot, they're going to be hitting their shots.
Their crowds could be going nuts.
Right. We just need to stay in the game, and then once that whole euphoria has worn off, then it starts to get into just straight hooping. But that pressure shots aren't falling to start the game, right? And so, especially if it's a series like you just described, Ian, where it's been home team won the first two, or home teams won every game, so it went 2-2, 1-1. And especially say that team, it's 3-2. You had a chance to close them out on their floor, and you didn't. Now that pressure, a tidal wave of pressure, goes right back to the home team for game 7.
Yeah. That's fair. Because I feel like Gabe's like, well, I mean, but the thing is, though, you're right about the pressure thing. I feel the same way. But I mean, across all sports, if you look at Gabe's 7 stats, the home team wins a great majority of the time. So, but I feel you though, because I feel like that's what happened with Boston last year. I feel like that's exactly what happened with Boston last year. Like Boston, because if I remember correctly, they started the game like shit too. Like they played like shit. I think they got their ass fucking. They lost by like 20 plus. But yeah, no, I feel you though, because it's like you're the home team and you're losing game. I mean, especially a place like Boston, bro. I've said that Boston has some of the greatest sports fans, not the greatest sports fans in the, in the country. But bro, you fall down at the Boston. Like it's like playing in Philly, bro. Like, you really sure you want that? Like Ben Simmons could handle that shit. Like you really sure you want that pressure of I don't know, man. It's a different pressure for sure, but it's gonna be exciting, man. This is like the West. I was looking at it, bro. Like there's a legit like 6 or 7 teams who can actually win a championship if things go their way. Legit.
Absolutely. You got obviously the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Lakers,
Mavericks. I think Mavericks are for real.
I think
they're tearing shit up in the second half of the year, bro. Dallas.
I think those are the only 4, to be honest.
Dallas like someone's in like 29-12 since or like some crazy since the All-Star break or since they got Gafford. Like, yeah, man, I'm excited. Let's get into these picks. Fuck it. What series we got first?
Well, if we're gonna, it's kind of tough to do the picks right now because we don't know exactly what every series is going to be.
You know what?
Yet.
That's a fair point. What we can do, we'll figure out a way to do the other ones, but let's do all the series that we know. All series that we locked in.
Okay.
Right.
All right, we can do that.
I didn't think about that. That's a fair point.
So, game 1 on Saturday, the matchup between the Suns and the Timberwolves.
Yeah, so as far as the game 1, it's gonna be a good game. I think that, damn, man. It's like, look at these matchups, man. Sorry, I'll get into my analysis in a second, but you got Minnesota, Phoenix, round 1.
That's a
Dallas Clippers round 1.
Oh, that's gonna be the series of round 1 right there.
7 games probably. But as far as Minnesota and Phoenix, man, that shit is I don't really know, man. Like it's
I got
I mean you got
Phoenix in 6.
dude, it's so hard. Like the Suns are so explosive offensively. I don't know, man. I mean, you look at Grayson Allen. He's turned into one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA this year, like a
I was
true
going to give
white
him
Duke
some
player.
credit, dude. He has developed into a true basketball player.
Yeah, for real, man. I like Grayson Allen. Like he's always done what I like him because he's always done what he needed to do to get by. And now that he's been in the NBA for what, like 5, 6 years,
He's
now
gotten
he's
better
like
every year.
he's got better every year. And the like you love him on your team. You hate playing against him. I feel the same way about Draymond. I'm sure that's how Warriors fans feel. We
Absolutely.
would hate we fucking love this guy. Like Grayson Allen's the same way, bro. Like this dude is insane this year, man. Just absolutely nuts. And you look at the volume of shots he's taking. He's shooting 49% from the field, which is crazy. He's shooting 47% from three on the road. On the road. He's shooting
Impressive.
46% from three this year. 87 from the free throw line. He's almost at 50 fucking percent. How many attempts does he take a game? Give me 1 second. I was looking at this not too long ago, but he shoots the shit out of the fucking ball. Like they have so much firepower, man. I've been really high on Minnesota all year. I don't like this matchup for Minnesota.
It's a bad matchup for him.
Fuck, it's a bad matchup. But because the thing is, I think Minnesota, man, I mean, granted they have Conley, they have Anthony Edwards, they have some firepower on the
They got
outside.
Cat.
They got Cat, but I mean, their strength, I feel like they would have been better against a team that was primarily a rim attacking team, not a team with Eric Gordon and Devin Booker and Kevin Durant and Grayson Allen and all these dudes who can step out and shoot. I've been really, really high on Minnesota all year, but give me Phoenix in 6 or Phoenix in
That's
7.
exactly
Sorry.
what I had. I got Phoenix in 6.
It's gonna be a good one, man. I think it's just it's a bad matchup for Minnesota. Like it's just I don't like the matchup. I think that it will. I'm not say minimize Minnesota's strengths, but they're not gonna get to play. It's gonna be harder for them to play their game because the Suns are just gonna be shooting the shit out of the ball. I mean, it's not like Minnesota can't defend the three or anything. Like they're still a good defensive team, but the Suns have so much firepower. It's just. I mean, and then at this point, Kevin Durant and Booker have been playing together for a full season this time. I mean, him, Booker, Beal, like, they're always going to be in and out. One's injured, one's not, But, I mean, at this point, they've played so much longer together. I got Phoenix in 7.
To be honest, I think this series is going to I think it's going to come down to a lot of things. I completely agree with your analysis as to what the key components of the series are, right?
Right.
But one thing, and I hate to be that guy that says the most cliche thing that you can say about a series.
For sure.
But in this series in particular, I think it's really going to boil down to the Suns have Kevin Durant and the Wolves do not. Like, it's just, don't get me wrong, Ant is phenomenal, but he ain't KD. And I think this is going to be a series, especially where you said, you're right, they do guard the three well, but that's going to open the floor for so much spacing of driving to the rim for Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, because like you said, they attack the basket well, very, very well. And obviously, Timberwolves, they have a great way to stop that too. They have 2 7-footers in Cat and Rudy Gobert. Let's not act like Minnesota can't out there and defend the rim, but they are going to have trouble with the spacing and playing one-on-one.
Exactly, and that's why, because unless you're the Miami Heat and you're just amazing help defense and everybody's doing, like, it's difficult. And not that the Timberwolves aren't good at that. Like you said, it's going to be one-on-one. There's going to be so much more floor spacing. Now, granted, Minnesota is top 7.
I'm so sorry to cut you off. And, I just wanted to finish the point really quickly here.
Yeah,
for sure. Since it's going to be that type of one-on-one series, it goes back to my point of they're not going to be able to stop KD. Mm-hmm. I think KD could average 35 this series. One-on-one, nobody in the league is stopping Kevin Durant. Nobody.
Oh, He could easily. I mean, shit, he could average 38 this series. And yeah, my bad. I didn't realize you were still talking. I
No, you're
apologize.
good.
But
It's just because I know I said a super cliche thing about the series, but I wanted to say
you
my
didn't
point.
defend it.
I wanted to say my point. Why? Because I agree with you. I think it's going to be a super one-on-one series, and no one is going to be able to see him one-on-one. If you put the big man on him, he's going to blow right past him. He's going to hit him with a step back. You put Anthony Edwards on him, he's too little. Anthony
And they
Edwards
can't
is not a
double.
small guy, but you can't double him because he's going to kick it to Booker
Or
or Gordon.
47% Grayson Allen.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And you said it perfectly in your synopsis right from the beginning. It's just a bad matchup for Minnesota. Stylistically, it's not a good matchup for them.
Now, since this next one is my team, I want to lead in. In this next
We know
series,
who you got. You got Clippers in 6. I guarantee it.
can I do my introduction?
Yes, you can.
In this series, we've got the Dallas Mavericks traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Clippers.
Can I redo it for you?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
This is how it's supposed to sound, okay?
All right, go ahead.
You have the Dallas Mavericks traveling to play the Los Angeles Clippers. And who do you got?
I mean, you already came on here and told everybody what my prediction
I
would
knew
be.
it. We haven't talked about. I promise you guys. Me and
we
Ian have
haven't.
not discussed this series.
Well,
I knew he was going to say Clippers in 6.
A lot of people are saying Clippers, and most people I've seen are pushing for it to go 7 games. Or think it's gonna go 7 games. When we played in the bubble, I don't remember how many games it went. I know when we played in the year after, it went 7. And that's when Kawhi, like, he's just different in the playoffs. I've got Clippers in 7. You know, we just signed Kai Jones.
Dallas winning game 3 and 5.
I mean, sorry, I got Clippers in 6. What I mean, sorry.
Yeah, I know. You have Dallas winning games 3 and 5, don't you?
3 and 5.
Yeah.
No.
First home game, and then
I say Clippers take 1, Dallas takes 1, Dallas takes another, Clippers take another, Clippers take another, Clippers take another.
Okay, so you would not be shocked after 3 games if it was 2-1 Dallas?
Nah, I mean, it's a fucking amazing. This is what basketball is about.
I agree.
Like, it's an amazing series, bro. And we talked about a little bit earlier this year, Gafford. You know, I was watching earlier when Dallas was playing Washington. I was like, wow, Dallas would be great if they had a guy like Gafford. And they turn out and they go get Gafford. Like, they have that rim protector. You never know. Cleaver might have a good game. Tim Hardaway Jr., he has tons of playoff experience by this point.
And you know Luka's going to win in 1.
What'd you say?
Luka's going to win in 1.
Luka's not getting swept. Kyrie's not getting swept. The fuck?
No,
not with this
Luka's
team.
Luka's going to go for 50 one game, and they'll win that one.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think Ty Lue is the better coach. Not by much. Jason Kidd's a good coach, but I think Ty Lue's the better coach. I mean, dude,
it's close. It's
gonna be good, man. Like, I mean, obviously, I think the Clippers. I think they're gonna win, but I'm not that happy that we have to see them in the first round. I will say though, I'm happier that we have to see Dallas in the first round than later, because let Kyrie and Luka get on a run, and it could be lights out for a lot. Like, they could just roll through people if they can get past the first. Like, if Dallas can win first round. Fucking, if Denver's not going to want to see him if they get out the first round. Lakers,
that's a bad matchup for Denver.
Bro, they're not Denver. They're going to get. I think Denver is going to get cooked. I think Gafford will be able to do just well enough on Jokic to where they'll have a legit chance to win the series. Who do you got in this one? Who did you say you had?
Clippers in 7.
For sure. So far, I've got. Wait, who did you have? You had.
We both have Suns in 6.
Okay, we both had Suns in 6. No, I had Suns. 7.
You had Suns in 6.
You said 6 too. Oh, okay. And then this one, I thought you said 7 for this one.
No, I did. Clippers in 7.
Oh, I got Clippers in 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wrong
corner.
Rising up. All right. You know who else is rising up? Go ahead.
I was gonna lead into the next one. So on this one, to me, it's. I hate to say this about any playoff series, but to me, this is the series that has the least amount of intrigue for me personally. And
is it Cleveland, Orlando?
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Not much to say personally. I got Cleveland in 5.
Well, it's an NBA playoff series, so I'll give the Magic and Cavaliers their due. Even though they're whoever wins probably gonna get the fucking piss beat out of them in the next round, and I probably know, and I think that's one of the reasons, right, why you said it's one of the least intrigue or least significant, whatever you
Yes.
said.
Yeah, the only reason it's not intriguing to me is because neither team has a chance of winning the title. When it's like that in a playoff series, it's just so meh to me. You know what I mean? It's like, who gets the opportunity to make it to the next round to lose?
Yeah, for sure. It's because it's like who earns the right to go get fucking piss donkeyed against the fucking Celtics. The Knicks are the 2 seed. Like I okay, well go back to my prediction for that series. I've got who did you have again? God, I need to
I
write
have
these down.
Cleveland in 5. I don't trust Orlando. I think Cleveland's deeper. I think they had the
Yeah.
best player. No, you could argue Pablo's better than Darius Garland. Yeah,
Yeah.
he probably is. Orlando may have the best player. Cleveland definitely has the deeper roster. And yeah, I got Cleveland in 5.
He's like, I got Cleveland at 5, but I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, I
Um
don't care at all.
I mean, well, shit. I personally got Donovan. I mean, it's gonna be hard for them to stop Donovan Mitchell, Jared. I mean, the Cavaliers have been playing good, and they have the experience. I like Orlando, and I really want them to win, so I could just keep singing the song throughout the playoffs. The Orlando Magic. Orlando. Have you heard that shit?
I
Orlando
have.
Magic.
Yeah, I've heard it.
Oh, Orlando Magic. All right, let me do this one. So next, we've got. Wait, let me go back to it. Hold on. We've got the Indiana Pacers, who are no longer the most popular team in the state of Indiana, thanks to Caitlin Clark. And they will be going to Cream City to take on Never Duck Smoke Pot, Never Duck Smoke, the Milwaukee Bucks. This will be a good series. What are you feeling about it?
Well, Mr. Blackwell, as you know, Giannis Antetokounmpo might be out for a couple games in this series. And as you know, I don't typically trust Doc Rivers in the playoffs.
The fact that he's even the coach, dude, they were what were they, second or third place in the East when he took over? Like they
Mm-hmm.
were doing fucking great. I mean, dude, I heard that Adrian Griffin was just like, I mean, you saw the way the Bucks were dancing around the day after he got fired. It seems like he ran a pretty tight ship. NBA's not about having fun. It's
No,
about
it's about
winning. You're
winning.
a grown fucking man. You think I have fun going to, you know what I'm like? I get, you know what I'm saying? Yes, you're a millionaire. Yeah, you have more leverage than I do at my job. Why are you gonna fire a coach that has you at third place, man? Like Giannis? I don't know the whole thing that happened, bro. You guys are winning. Like I don't give a fuck. He's not out there like don't want to
So
get canceled. He's not out there like some kind of dick. Like I don't know what it's like inside the locker room, but you're
I
winning the
think
fucking
it's a
game, bro.
much closer series than people think. What's
I
that?
like Indiana. Oh, sorry. I like Indiana. I mean, I don't like Indiana the series, but I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be closer than people think as well. I think Indiana. I mean, we've seen Halliburton is just starting to annoy me. He just seems like he fucking complains about everything. I really
He
liked it when he was
does.
on, but I mean, the Pacers I think are gonna be pretty good. When you
Therese
say you don't
Halliburton
trust Doc.
is the poor man's Jason Tatum, is what he is.
I don't know. You don't really. I guess I can kind of see it. They're light skinned, but I don't really. I don't know because you got the addition of Siakam this year. You got Miles Turner, Benedict Matt. Like they definitely have the athleticism to keep up with Milwaukee. I think home court's gonna play. Like because at this point, regardless of whether Doc is the coach, Giannis has a championship. Middleton has a championship. Uh, didn't Brook Lopez get traded? No, Brook. Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah,
See,
Brooke has a championship. What the fuck? Of course he
yeah,
does.
no,
I'll say this though: if Giannis is compromised when he returns, the Pacers could steal the series. Absolutely, they could, because they're saying he's going to miss some time in this series. Hopefully, it's not more than a game or two, and the Bucks have to, absolutely have to win at least one of the games that he misses. Say if he misses 2 games, the Bucks better hope they split, because if they are down 0-2 going into Indiana, it's over. It's over.
you think so?
Absolutely. Even if Giannis comes back.
I mean, well, shit. Giannis, we saw him at the injury at the in the playoffs last year. We saw them lose in the first round. I don't know, man. I mean, Milwaukee is good at defending teams from the field. Indiana's worst in the league, at field goal percentage defense. But the athleticism, with shit like this, man, and like you were saying, you don't like talking about cliches. I don't always like talking about the intangibles, the heart,
Oh, I
the
hate that shit
chemistry.
too.
But I mean, I feel
No,
like
chemistry's a real thing.
well, I mean, okay,
Chemistry's a
chemistry
real
maybe,
thing.
but so chemistry. Like, I don't know where Milwaukee's chemistry is at. I don't really have any concerns with Indiana's chemistry. Um, I would have been a lot more concerned missing Giannis last year when I didn't have fucking Damian Lillard on my team.
Absolutely.
I mean, but they still have Middleton. I mean, like you said, like I think it's just going to depend on how Giannis is out. So I don't know if we're going to put a asterisk or maybe subject to change. We might change it on the page, but I mean, as of right now, bro, hard to go against Milwaukee, bro. It's fucking hard.
Let's say I got Bucks in 7 because I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. But
I got Indiana in 6.
you got the Pacers in 6.
I think that Giannis, his missing time, they're not gonna be able to get into a rhythm. I think Indiana steals game 1. I think Indiana steals game 1. Boston or Milwaukee wins game 2, and Indiana finds a way to win both games at home. And then I guess Milwaukee claws one more out at home, and Indiana ends up wrapping it up at home. They're young. They're gonna be one of those teams. I don't think there's no pressure on Indiana. Like, I mean, were they in the playoffs last year? I don't think so.
The
If
Pacers?
they were a very low seed or they were playing. I don't think they were in the playoffs.
I don't think so. I can't remember. God, I can't even remember. That's sad.
Well, because you guys were the 2 seed last year, I think. Yeah, because Milwaukee was
Yes.
the 1
Milwaukee was
seed.
the one
Yeah.
seed. They got bounced out by the Heat.
Now, and I know
First
we don't know
round.
what the other series are going to be yet, but how do you feel about the New York Knicks?
Well, so the Knicks can play either. They'd be the 2 seed, so they would play the 7 seed. So the
Knicks win whoever. The Knicks play whoever wins between Philly and Miami tomorrow. That's who they're going to play.
I think the Knicks would go home against either team.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're steady this year. I mean, granted, I remember it was the day before Christmas. Like, I've seen the Knicks. I mean, when they played Milwaukee, like, it didn't even look like they should be on the same court. But then they came around on Christmas and won. Brunson, bro, he is.
He's a beast.
If I had to use one word to describe Brunson, it would be unsuspecting. You would look at him and you wouldn't really like. He's kind of, I wouldn't even say short and pudgy. Maybe he has a little more muscles. Sorry if his family is offended by this, but he doesn't. He's what, like 6'1", 6'2". Maybe he's a little taller than that, but he just doesn't do anything on the court that amazes you. But then you look at his stats and he's averaging fucking 25 points a game, 28 points a game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you got I'm not a huge believer in Julius Randle. I think he's
I'm not
good.
either.
I'm not. RJ Barrett, he's one of those guys that I'm always waiting for to take the next step. I do like the addition of DiVincenzo, though.
How
I
much
think
longer could we be waiting for RJ Barrett to take that next step, though? He was in the same draft class with John Zion.
I mean, he's still good. He's averaging 15 points a game this year, but yeah, I feel you. At this point,
that's
it's like
fine. That's great with being good, but you said you want to take that next step. How long are you going to be waiting for it before we just realize he's just an average NBA player?
like Ben Simmons. You remember how long we were waiting for Ben Simmons to take that next step?
But no, that's different, and I'll explain why. Ben Simmons showed flashes of being a superstar. RJ Barrett has never done that. Like Ben Simmons, there was talk for a while that he was a jump shot away from being LeBron with Ben Simmons. Mm-hmm. I don't think RJ Barrett was ever like, oh yeah, he's the next fucking Brandon Roy.
We love Brandon.
I do. I do.
Fucking yeah, no, I feel you, bro. Because if you watch Ben, I mean, we're kind of getting off topic here, but if you watch Ben Simmons in high school, like, bro, he was like you would look at him and be like, yeah, like you could walk in the gym for a second and be like, that is the guy. Like the shit he was doing, the little hooks, the vision. He's like 6'9". He's huge. Yeah, I feel you. Like he
in the NBA for a long time too, though. Where you walk out in the court and you're like, the way that he moves for his size, his speed, his athleticism, his strength, his passing ability.
Beautiful.
I don't understand what got into him.
He's mentally fucking weak. I mean, I think that's you want my opinion. Everybody sit down. I think Ben Simmons, hear me out. He has he has been surrounded by yes men his whole life. I'm not saying that most, because most players in the NBA have. They've been the best player middle school, high school, college. Ben Simmons was playing on the Australian national team at what, 14? Like he pretty much went to LSU and him and his parents were both saying like fuck the NCAA. Like we don't fucking care about going to school. Ben Simmons has always been about Ben Simmons. That's the reason Ben Simmons can't succeed. He's mentally weak. And when he faced real adversity, the last fucking place you want to do that shit is in Philly. The last place you ever want to be booed by your fans, and you could probably admit this, probably the most ruthless, is Philly. And he choked. I mean, have you ever seen, what was it, a few years ago? Game 7? Wide open, bro. Wide open layup. Passed it. He shot like 28% from free throw in that. Yeah, against Atlanta. He shot like 28% from free throw in that series. I might be a little bit too. It was incredibly atrocious. Dude, honestly, I've never seen a playoff series or even one moment. I mean, it was really that moment when he passed up the layup that
absolutely
it shot his confidence. But if you're really him, like Austin Reeves likes to say, I'm him, then that it shouldn't matter. Like you fucked up in the playoffs. Nobody remembers Kobe airballing 4 times against the Jazz in what, 1998? Came back and won 5 championships in the Hall of Fame. I mean, there's no point for me to talk about Kobe's accolades. You get the point. What I'm trying to say is I think Ben Simmons is fucking mentally weak. I mean, we have the whole. Well, I'm not gonna get on a whole tangent here about mental health and fucking social justice issues and shit like that. But he did the whole mental health thing. You're making fuck you. You're making fucking how much money? I'm not saying that money is everything, but the point I'm getting to is once they were talking about voiding his contract, like. I don't know, man. I don't really like Ben Simmons' temperament. I think his talent is incredible. The way he switches directions, like you said, you said it perfectly. The way he moves, like he's absolutely different. It's just he didn't have that dog in him. You know what I'm saying? Like we have the Kobe's, we have the Bronze, we have the Dames, the Bookers, the Giannis's that they face their own. I mean, you know what? Take Booker out, whatever. But I mean, I love Booker, but I just try to make a point. They've been through their own shit, but I think that I don't know, man. I think there's a psychological thing behind that goes deeper than what we know of Ben Simmons since he's in the NBA. Fair. Because the thing is, bro, when you're a 6'9" point guard, you can't tell me that every single camp that Ben Simmons ever went to, he wasn't picked first every single time. Absolutely every single time he went to the gym, every single game he played in. When you have people telling you you're great, bro, the toughest thing in life is finding, I think personally, balance and consistency. Ben Simmons had no balance. I want to say once he reached his peak, but once the scales got tipped too far to one side, he couldn't come back from it.
No, that's actually very, very well said.
I don't know, man.
I think you described what Ben Simmons is to a T.
I can't stand Ben Simmons. Like, bro, I don't like. Man, I'm not one of those people. Like, man, mental health is mental health, bro. Ben Simmons just acts like a whiny bitch. I'm sorry. I know there's a podcast and there's probably kids listening. I'm sorry, Elijah.
Nobody's listening.
No. But no, for real, bro. It's like, I don't like people. I don't know what he's going through in his own mind, man. But all that shit, it was just. I just think it was a bunch of bullshit, man. I could be wrong. I don't know the guy. Maybe they're gonna call me insensitive. But I think shit like that is a fuck you to people that have actual mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't think that think that money equates to everything, and I think I've matured enough to understand that you can have money. I mean, hell, a lot of people with money are the most miserable. But just because shit ain't going your way, all of a sudden you got mental health issues. You're in the you're in the NBA, you're making millions of fucking dollars. You're not worried about where your next meal is gonna come from. Shut the fuck up and play.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Go Ben Simmons.
I agree with that completely. I agree 1,000,000% with everything you said. So,
yeah, man.
Now the Celtics, on the other hand, other than the Knicks, they would have a chance to either be playing the loser of that game between the Heat and the 76ers, or who else could it be?
Well, no, the
Hawks.
Well, so yeah, all because I don't know the playing thing. I've kind of got a good hang of it now. So no, the Celtics are gonna so yeah, the winner of tonight plays New York automatically. The loser of tonight, wait, shit. Oh, because there's two,
Yeah.
or it's not tonight. Sorry, the East games, but the winner of the first game plays New York because they're gonna be the 7th seed, and
Yes.
then Atlanta and Chicago plays. Whoever loses that is just out. Their season's over. And then whoever lost the game between Philly and Miami plays whoever won the game between Chicago and Atlanta, and then the winner of that plays
Plays
goes to
Boston.
Boston.
So Boston could potentially play either Philly, Atlanta, Chicago.
Any 4 of those teams, yeah, it just
Yeah.
depends.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like dude, like I wouldn't want to see Philly in the first round. I wouldn't. I would. You better hope they win tonight.
Wait. So they wouldn't beat New York, but they'd beat Boston.
I'm saying I wouldn't want to see them. I think the Knicks are gonna like the pressure is gonna be a lot less on the Knicks. I mean, granted, I don't know because the Knicks are gonna have the 2 seed. I don't even know the last time that's happened. I'm sure they're gonna have a lot of pressure on them, but I mean, you take Embiid going into Boston, like that's gonna. I mean, now you got Buddy
He
Hield,
struggles though.
got Maxey. He does, but I mean, do you really want to see Embiid round 1? I think okay. I'll put it like this. I think Mitchell Robinson will do a better job with Embiid than anybody on Boston will, including Porzingis. Would they win? I don't know, but I think they would give Boston fits. I think they would give Boston big fits. Boston hasn't faced any real adversity yet. I mean, unless you could count those fucking blowout losses. Give me 2 seconds. 1 second. Somebody calling me. Hold on. I know we on the. Yo, what's up? Hey D Wood. Hey, I'm on the pod. Shout up. I've seen the people do it. Hey, say what's up to the podcast, D Wood. All right. Hey, I'm gonna text you though. I'm gonna text you. I see people doing that shit all the time. What were we talking about? My bad. Should have just hit ignore. My bad. Very discourteous of me. Um, but
Oh,
I think that I don't know, man. Like I don't like Embiid, bro. He's still. I mean, we had our debate. I don't know if it was on the show or it was in the group about Embiid and Jokic. I would not want to see Embiid, bro.
It was on the show. I would take Jokic over Embiid every day of the week, but
I'd take Jokic over maybe I don't know because Jokic. I don't know, man. That team is just so well constructed. Um, I mean, yeah, I guess I would take Jokic, but Embiid is when he wants to be, he's the most dominant player in the NBA. I want to finally see Jokic and Embiid in the final, like because what's one matchup that you really want to see? Like 2 players go head to head right now. Like what's one that you have your eye on?
in this playoff series,
Yeah. Or no, sorry, just in general in the whole NBA.
oh my god, in the whole NBA. Yeah, I mean it's the way that it's kind of tough not to say Jokic and Embiid.
That's what I'm saying. Like those are the only 2 dudes that play the same position that are that close in skill, I think. And are that
Because
great.
you can't well, it doesn't even have to be the same position, but you couldn't say like LeBron and Curry because we've seen that so much.
Yeah, and yeah, that's true. You know what they said, and I imagine
What about
if
Bucks Lakers though? Giannis and Anthony Davis, both power forwards.
yeah, that would be actually amazing.
Because
Amazing.
AD gives Giannis fits.
Yeah.
Now Giannis
sure.
still gets his. Don't get me wrong, but AD gives him some trouble.
I think AD is a more skilled defensive player than Giannis. Than damn near anybody in the league. I think AD's defensive
Oh my god,
IQ.
yeah, AD when he's one of the top defensive players in the league.
We just forget because he's hurt so much that people, they doubt him. Like NBA.
He's played 72 games this year.
I'll say it like this: AD has been the only player that LeBron has played with that at one point you could be like, yeah, he's the best player on the team. No, you haven't been able to say it. Like people, the Heat were Wade's team. Get the fuck out of here. They weren't Dwayne Wade's team. That was LeBron James' team.
They were Dwayne Wade's team, but LeBron was still the best player.
Oh shit, bro! Fuck, I didn't. Yeah,
Fuck, it was still Steph's team, but Durant was the best player.
Fuck. Yeah, man.
What's the matter?
I'm good. Let me just give me a second. We'll be right back. Mixed reactions. Hold on, man. I'm fine, man. Ain't nothing like not unorganized or nothing. I just give me a second. I'll be right back. I don't know if I could pause this. I'll be right back. Hold on. I gotta process this real quick. Give me 1 second, bro.
Yeah,
Give me
you're
like
good.
20
Good.
seconds. All right, give me like 1 second, guys. I'll play some Jeopardy music. I'll be right back. I don't know, man. It's gonna be a good playoffs. It's gonna I can't wait. I'm good, man. It's just I had some news I got. I'm fine now. I just needed to take a second. I wasn't gonna bring the energy on the podcast. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no. What's the matter, bro?
I mean, I texted you, man. Everything is cool. You know, we're not. I'm not gonna let that. You know, we're gonna do the podcast. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I just got some really bad news about a friend of mine. He's yeah, just not gonna be okay. But I didn't
Oh
came out of the
shit.
blue. I thought my friend was. I thought he was calling me, man. You know, saying he was gonna come over or something, and I really didn't want to get on the podcast and start talking about it. And I don't want to feel like I was exploiting it or taking away from the shit that we're doing. But no, I just had to take a second, man. Like.
Understood,
I'm gonna
man.
have some more time to. I'm gonna have some more time to process it later. I appreciate you, being willing to give me a second though, for sure, man.
Hey,
It's
bro, life happens, my man. If we need to cut it short, we need to cut it short.
no,
Don't
I
even
want to do
stress
it.
it.
I want to do the podcast. I mean, this is the best thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. But if you feel you need a minute,
Ed
just
spark a cigarette. Yeah, no, man. I appreciate it. If I need a minute, I'll let you know. But I
okay.
should be good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've been unorganized before, but that was just one that
It's
yeah,
life,
man.
man. Don't stress it.
It's life's a scary thing, man. Like you think you know life, and then you don't. Life has some crazy turns, but yeah, man. I can't wait for the playoffs.
Mm.
It's I can't wait. No, it sounds kind of anticlimactic, but no, I'm really doing I always do my best to keep myself in the mode. Why don't we switch topics? I feel like if we keep going on the same topic, we've already kind of covered the first round. Who's your That's another thing I wanted to talk about. So there's just a two-parted question, I guess. Who is your biggest sleeper, and who do you think is the most prime for a letdown?
All right. Biggest sleeper, no shock, the Lakers. I think it's no question it's got to be the Lakers, right? Because if say they're the seventh seed, that still has to count as a sleeper, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, for sure. Honestly, man, calling any LeBron team a sleeper,
I
I
know
don't know.
that's why I feel weird doing it, but
Yeah, I guess they could technically be a sleeper. I mean, yeah, man, because it is so because the Lakers are the most popular franchise. Like they get watched with such a microscope. I guess in the pure sense of basketball, we're all kind of expecting them to fall short. Maybe I could look at the championship odds before determining whether I'd consider them a sleeper. But that's a good pick. I mean, that's a solid pick at that. You know what I'm saying? Hell, if I was going to bet my life on it, if you had to say pick any team, either conference, 6 through 10, which is going to make a run? Oh, I mean, Phoenix is like 7, 8. It'd probably be the Lakers. Lakers or like Phoenix, I guess, for me.
mm-hmm.
What about the
Then
one that's biggest for most prime for like a big letdown?
easy Milwaukee.
Not the Celtics.
Not in the first round.
Why Milwaukee? Is it just Doc Rivers? Like, what is it? Because I'm not like I feel like you really don't like Doc Rivers, and I feel like you have totally valid reasons. I mean, you watched the shit it bought. Like you guys were one game away from closing out the Lakers, lost
Mm-hmm.
two on the road.
So
Like,
it's
you're not a
that.
championship coach, bro, if you can't win one of those games. I'm sorry.
Not to mention they had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter that game.
Which game? Oh, game 7?
Mm-hmm.
Were they up 10 points in that game? I don't remember that shit.
Yeah, they had a 10-point lead in
It
the
got as
fourth
big
quarter.
as 10. I know the whole game was like back and forth, but damn, it was really up to, I don't remember it being that. That was a low. It was at like 83-79, I think
It
was the
was a
final
super
score.
low scoring game. And
That
then, not to mention as well, the Giannis injury. I think that's a huge component.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a big thing. Giannis, and then I think Doc Rivers. I think all the elements are there for disaster. But you know what? I was watching the 07-08 Celtics documentary the other day. Before I talk about that, Paul Pierce. He was talking about the time where he, broke his ankle, but it was like the official championship DVD. He's like, yeah, I know I had to get out there and do my best for my team, whatever. And then we all hear those stories about now about how he shit himself and everything. But the point I was getting to is, I feel like that 07-08 Celtics team really worked for Doc. Those guys wanted to play for Doc. You had Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, KG, guys that I don't know too much about KG, but KG loves basketball. He loves the history. You see how KD smiles when he gets around. Rest in peace, like Bill Russell. I think that they really appreciate. I mean, Doc was a really good player of the NBA. Knicks, Clippers, Hawks. I think they appreciate. They got the most out of Doc, and Doc got the most out of them. Maybe it'll happen with Giannis, man. Like maybe because even though, like I was saying earlier, everything about Adrian Griffin, like it's about winning. It's also about, who you're going to work best with. And the playoffs, especially, maybe Giannis is going to feel comfortable enough in the playoffs. They'll be able to get it done. But, yeah, that's a good pick, though, especially with everything considered, like the Doc thing and the injury.
Can I just speak on the whole rumor that he shit himself?
Yeah, no, go ahead. No, the floor is yours. I really want to hear this.
And if he did, I have a very serious question, Paul, if you're ever listening. If you literally shit yourself, why the fuck are you sitting down in a wheelchair?
And then how do you get the shit off your ass in 30 seconds? That's a good point. And maybe I'm wrong.
Like why are you sitting? Like why are you squishing it on you, brother?
Like all down in that fucking wheel. And then laying back at that. Like all.
That's why I don't think he shit himself, because why would he lay down in it?
And he came back pretty quick. Like, it wasn't even like 5 minutes. Wasn't it like a minute, like 30 seconds a minute?
It was like 2.5 minutes, something like that.
I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, I feel you. But at the same time, like, these are NBA players. They have probably hundreds of jerseys back there. Like, somebody could have easily, you could have just, drip drop, poured some water on his ass and just kept pushing. I don't know, but your logic definitely.
You're cutting out.
Oh, sorry. Your logic definitely pokes a lot of holes in the theory, though, for sure. Because why are you sitting down? Like, if I shit myself, first thing I'm doing is I'm saying, get me the fuck away from this camera.
Yeah. And I'm certainly not going to take a fucking wheelchair ride to the stadium.
I don't know, man. We got to hear from like one of the fucking hallway employees or some shit like that. But I don't know, man. You really can't trust like those insider stories because now everybody just gets on. They just get on podcasts for popularity now. We got to get a celebrity on here, man. This is a guy. It's a local celebrity, Floyd Mayweather. I'm gonna ask him if he wants to be on the show.
That's fair.
If I beat him, if I beat him, he has to be on the show. He'll never.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Mayweather, man. There's only one May. If we actually had Sean still, I'm sure we could have got some, pretty decent, podcast guests with Sean. He's a big Michigan State guy. Shout out to him too. He's doing his thing, but I don't know, man. Tonight. I saw that in like Holland or some shit like that.
Yeah, good for Sean.
Yeah, no, good for Sean. I was laughing when Michigan State lost to Michigan. Oh, no. We're not gonna just not talk about this. Matt Davis from Denver. What in the actual for those of you who are unfamiliar, this past weekend on Saturday, Boston College and Denver played for the National Hockey Championship in St. Paul, the NCAA Hockey Championship in St. Paul. The Denver Pioneers were underdogs, decent-sized underdogs too, and they won 2-0. If you even like a little bit about hockey, I would definitely suggest to check out the highlights of Matt Davis, the goalie. I know when Maine was out of it, it wasn't BCBU. You might not have been watching it. Did you see that one save he made that we were all talking about in the chat where he fucking deflected off his wrist? Oh, my God.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, man. I got to change my shorts again. Son of a bitch.
I saw that whole game, and that was one of the best goaltending.
That's the best I've ever seen.
It was so absolutely.
It's the national championship game. I've seen some great goaltending, especially shout out John Sebastian Jaguar. Let's get jiggy with it. That was my hero. But national championship game, bro, that goal should have been in. I had Boston College, bro. The announcers did that justice too. He was like, oh my God. He's like, what just happened? Bro, like it was, because if I remember correctly, because I watched the whole game pretty much the whole game too. Yeah, I would say the whole game, with maybe exception like 20 seconds. I was watching a little NHL, but yeah, bro, like that fucking goal should have been in. Like you see people behind the glass, behind the net, like jumping up like goal. Nah, that motherfucker hit off his wrist, and then on top of that, BC hit the post like 3 times, and the dude was just making gloves. With about 4 or 5 minutes left, you see the dude from Boston College just give a look, and it's just like, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
Well,
Like,
here's the thing. Denver played extremely well
amazing.
just as a whole in general,
Yeah.
but Boston College absolutely dominated that third period. They were everywhere, and they just couldn't put it in the
They
net.
had like 20 something shots in the third period, I think.
Like that was almost like a moment where Boston College, I hate to say it like this because it sounds cliche, but woke up and they were like, "Oh shit, we're about to lose. Let's get this shit together." And stylistically, it was working.
They did.
They dominated them in every aspect. But in hockey, that ultimate X factor, he
The
came
ultimate
through.
X factor. Dude,
The
like
goalie.
I was talking, yeah,
And-
for sure. For sure. For sure.
And he was not letting anything by him.
Dude, and that's what I was telling you guys in the group Saturday, man. Like that's one thing I love about hockey and I hate about hockey because, bro, if you see, like, you will rarely see that in soccer. Like if a team is dominating, by getting that many more shots on goal, they're at least gonna outscore you by 1. Like that doesn't really, even in soccer, it doesn't happen. Like, bro, well,
That's like in a baseball game when you out hit your opponent by 10 to 12 hits and still lose.
yeah, that's like was it the Pirates the other year where they allowed 1 hit and lost.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's one thing about hockey, man. It's like it doesn't matter what you do. And Denver, they were doing a good job of not allowing Boston College to get. I mean, because they did get a few one-on-one opportunities, and Matt Davis didn't let any of them pass. But they were doing a good job of neutralizing for most of the game. Third period, BC. And then what about the decision to wait so long to take out their goalie? What do you think about that?
I thought that was a bad decision.
I was on the fence about it. I don't know because that team is so good, but Davis had been such a wall all night, and the defense from Denver was still playing pretty good. Maybe about a minute and a half before he should have.
The pressure that BC was getting, if you could have gotten a couple more minutes of that, you would think one of them would have snuck through. And then once one sneaks through, that opens the floodgates.
Then you put the goalie back in the net, new game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude. I was like, because the announcers were even like, oh, like, I don't know, he's waiting quite a while here. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, how long? When did he finally pull him? Like the 3-minute mark? Like it was pretty deep. I mean, it was a 2-goal deficit. Like 1 goal, you'll normally see at about 60 seconds left, something like that.
Yeah, around a minute and a half to 2 minutes.
Yeah, but it was like a 3-minute. They should have pulled him at like 4. Boston College with that extra attack.
I would have pulled him at 5 minutes.
With that extra attack, and then, well, speaking of extra attacker, I mean, Boston College had what, like 3 power plays in that game, didn't score on a single one. Like Denver was Boston College. I don't remember the third period too. I haven't watched the game since, but the third period, I think most of their power plays came before the third period, right? They just couldn't convert any of them. I mean, but Denver had a good penalty kill. Boston College had a good power play. So it is what it is, man. That was a very fun college hockey season. Like, I legit not watched every game. I watched, dude, I probably watched like a good 5 or 6 main games this year. Like, sat down and watched the whole game. Like, I am a maniac. But it's cool, man. I love. Oh,
shout out to Bradley Nadeau making his NHL debut tonight.
Already starting on the third line.
And when you're a first-round pick, that's kind of expected of you. And it sucks because, thank you to the Nadeaus for making it a great season. Thank you to all of Maine for making it a great season. But Maine's going to fall back to irrelevancy next year.
You think so? Well, because they just got old boy from what, Boston? Cormac?
Yeah, so I think they'll be a middle of the pack team probably of Hockey East. I'd say they'll start out the season ranked. I don't think they'll finish the season ranked.
Who, Maine?
They'll probably I think they'll start off the season like
they will
12,
just based
13th.
off of this season.
Yeah, so they'll start off like 12 or 13th. But then I think that's going to go away within a month at most.
Did Quinnipiac make the tournament this year? I don't remember.
Yes.
Did they?
I believe so.
I don't know. That's a good question. But yeah, no, I feel you because that's one thing my dad has always been against is the like the preseason rankings. Like you have to have like you know what I'm saying. Like you gotta rank them at some point. I don't remember what sport. There's some sport that they do the rankings after like a week or two. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a better idea. But yeah, they'll probably be one of those teams where they have big hopes and maybe middle of the pack. You know, well I think that they're on the right path. I think that if Maine can keep at least I wouldn't say stay. I mean, because Maine has been ass. Up until this year, they've been garbage. So
Absolutely.
if you could just steady the ship, have some solid teams. Like, what's an example? I mean, any sport, just of a solid team, never really quite pushed through, but just a solid team. Like, what's one that comes to mind for you? I'd say like
A
the
solid
Capitals
team.
or something. The Stars.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's a good one. The Pittsburgh Steelers. What the fuck is the college team? Not Kentucky. There's a college team that makes the turn. Oh, Michigan State. Like it's where like they're either gonna be good or great, but they're never gonna be bad. And if Maine can just get to that point, which is much easier said than done, that means worlds for their program. And shit, Ben Barr is what, like 38? Like he's a young dude. He's like maybe not even that. It was like 33 or something like that. Like
He's a
Ben
young
Barr
guy.
Yeah, he's young. I mean, I feel the same way about UC Riverside, man. Like, we're finally to a point where, because I've been going to those games, man, since I was like in 5th grade, and we're finally to a point where we're not a doormat. Like, I remember we were literally like the 363rd team out of 364. You know what I'm saying? But it's like Mike McPio has gone in there and he's changed the culture. Like, they go recruit a bunch of dudes from Hawaii and Australia and New Zealand, and it's like, when you see Riverside on the schedule now, it's not a pushover. Like, we may not be the top of the league, but it's not gonna be.
Are you a USC fan or a UC Riverside fan?
Why you press me about this every?
Because I need to know,
dude. I don't know, man. Like Riverside, like that is the hood, like ninth, not the hood, but that's like my hometown, man. Like those are the boys. But then USC, dog, like that's what got me into sports. Like I had a USC painted room, I had a USC phone. Like they did play each other. They played each other a few times, and it was weird, dude. It was weird betting on that game, like or watching the game. I think I had USC. I wasn't about to bet on Riverside. I'm not a fucking moron. But I bet on USC in the game, and it was weird, bro, because it's like those are the boy. Okay, it would be like. Well, because no, I think we had this conversation before. I was like, what if a NFL team moved to Old Town, Maine? And you're like, no, the Cowboys are my team. But I mean, shit, I started really watching sports in like 03, 04. Like I started watching Riverside around the same time, so it's like those are just the boys. Like it's like a pride. Like Riverside is more like a pride thing. Like yeah, that's the inland. Like you don't know where the fuck Riverside is. Like watch the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's kind of that you thing. But USC is just like USC. USC is like my Lakers, and I'll just put it like this: like USC is like my Lakers, and UC Riverside is like the Maine Black Bears. If it was like okay, it was like sense. It would be your the Cowboys would be your Boston Celtics, and I don't know where the fuck I was going. I think you get my point. I have no idea where I was going with that.
Are you gonna okay? So it'd be like they'd be the Celtics, and the Riverhawks would be like LeBron.
The Riverhawks.
Right? Is that what you're trying to say?
The Riverhawks.
Not sorry, UC Riverside. Jesus Christ.
Man, that was disrespectful. Wait, what was the first thing you said before LeBron? Because when you said Riverhawks,
so USC would be like. Okay, God, well, we're lost, bro. What's the question, Ian? What's the question?
No, I want to hear you. Hold on. Because this is a good question. I have to spark this motherfucker. Somebody's gonna comment, dude, stop fucking smoking cigarettes. It's unprofessional. Well, they get us 100 viewers. You get us 100 viewers, no more cigarettes on the air. Here's the question, and I've been actually looking forward to asking this for about a week or so, and I'm actually gonna make sure to ask Justin when we get back in the group chat. It's not a 3-parted question, but it's gonna be 3 answers. I guess a 3-parted question. Fuck. So
exactly
I want you to give me
that
literally the definition of a 3-parted question. So I want you to name 3 different players. Number 1, the player who has lived up to the hype the best. You don't have to do it in whatever order, you know what I'm saying? Number 2, the player who has been the biggest bust. And number 3, the biggest overachiever. You can mix and match all sports. Go.
Okay, mix and match all sports. Oh man, there's so many answers.
Dude, I know. I was like, this is gonna be a good fucking question. I was like, that's why I was like, I got the question. I was like, this is the best thing. Like, this is the best thing I've done since I had my damn kids.
Okay, so biggest overachiever is the easiest one for me.
Who?
Tom Brady.
Why did I not think about that? All right, who's your? Okay, well,
Sixth round
yeah, go
draft
ahead.
pick 199, becomes the greatest quarterback of all time. That's an easy one. It's Tom Brady.
Oh shit.
Player who's lived up to the hype. It's one of two.
Hmm.
There's two options.
I mean, I know who one. I know one of them's gonna be LeBron. I'm interested to see who the second one's gonna be.
Peyton Manning.
Oh shit. Yeah, he was
Because he was
like
the
he was a
most highly touted
star.
quarterback prospect of all time, basically. Yeah. And obviously he became into a top 5 quarterback of all time. So it's got to be either Peyton Manning or LeBron James.
Who do you think has done it better? I mean, it's so hard to compare two different sports, two
You'd
totally
have to
different.
say LeBron at this point because of longevity, right?
And the amount of championships. You know what I'm saying? The MVP.
Yeah.
How many MVPs does Manning have? Like four? Or
4, I think 3, 4, or 5,
LeBron
maybe
has
somewhat.
four.
So they're around the same for MVPs. I don't know Peyton. I know LeBron has 4. I don't know Peyton's off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, I feel like a lot with LeBron is voter fatigue too, because he should have won when the year
Yeah.
D Rose won.
Yeah, no, LeBron could have 8 MVPs right now, for being honest. He could have won it every year from 2009 to 2016.
Same thing with Jordan, for sure, even towards the end of his
Absolutely.
career.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Biggest bust. Ooh, man.
The first name that comes to my head is
Ryan Leaf.
because I said comes to my leaf, but you probably
Yes.
already would have guessed that.
As soon as you said comes to my Leaf, I was like, okay, so he's going to say Ryan Leaf. But you could also say Jamarcus Russell. You could also say Anthony
Ooh,
Bennett.
ooh. Anthony Bennett is one that I thought of for sure.
Um, I would roll with Ryan Leaf. Actually, no, I wouldn't. I'd roll with Jamarcus Russell. Did you know that the Raiders gave Jamarcus Russell a blank CD and said it was game film
And he said he
and asked him
watched
to
it.
go home and study it? And he went and said, yeah, everything looks great. Motherfucker never put that CD in for even a split second. Otherwise, he would have realized that shit
You
was
see,
blank.
did you see what they said about Johnny Manziel's his iPad hours? He's like, I checked his iPad hours. It was 0.000001. You know, but the thing about that's actually a good question with or a good answer with Jamarcus Russell. He was a guy that was like, oh shit, I get all this money. Fuck y'all. Fuck the team. Yeah,
That's
no, for
exactly. And also, you could argue for the bust in the NFL aspect for Ryan Leaf, but he has made a hell of a comeback in life.
has he really? I
Like
thought he was still in jail and doing drugs and shit. Didn't he just get
no, dude,
arrested like a couple years ago?
he's maybe a couple years ago, yeah, but he's a couple years sober now, has his own
Hmm.
radio show, like makes appearances on ESPN and does shit with Colin Cowherd. Like
Wow, really?
he has made it. Yeah,
Really? Yeah, no, because if I remember correctly, I don't know if maybe it was maybe I was a little
made
too
a
soon with
hell
a
of a
few years
comeback.
ago. Because like I think it was like 8 years ago, it was like Ryan Lee. I don't know if it was breaking, I could be wrong, but it was something like it was a big crime. Like he was in trouble and they're like, oh, how the mighty have fallen, whatever. But that's cool, man. I'm really happy to see. And another guy too is Johnny Manziel, man. Like you listen to him talk and he really
Yes,
I think
sounds mature.
he sounds mature and he's a very self-aware person. Like he understands why he did the things he did. He understands they were wrong. He understands what the contributed. That's good though, man. You know who's another guy like you were saying making a comeback in life who I will listen to talk every single time he talks. And I'm gonna give you two clues and I want you to guess. He's from Massachusetts. He's from Massachusetts. He's a white guy and he played for the Celtics.
I know exactly who you're talking about. He
Oh.
had the Unguarded documentary. Oh
Yeah,
God, what the
Chris
fuck is
Herron.
his name? Chris Herron. Thank you. God, that
Yeah,
was
it's
escaping me.
it's it's cool, man, when you see dudes like because I think, man, like
Yo,
when
he
you
was mad talented too.
dude, he was great. Like he had a three with one. Like he would go into games, bro, fucking zannied out of his oxied out of his mind,
He
and
dropped
just
30.
he was good, bro. Like he just like he was even saying in his documentary, like when he was in Denver, he had Antonio McDyess and Nick Van Exel. Like they didn't let him drink, they didn't let and that was the best for him. But then he goes back to Boston, he gets back around all his homies, and it's just like he's saying it's 20 minutes. There's 30 minutes on the clock before tip off, and I'm in the back of TD Garden,
Waiting
waiting
for
for
my
my oxy
dealer.
dealer. Do you know that his son, or I don't know if he still does, he played football for Alabama.
I did not know that. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is Chris Herron Jr.? He had, I want to say he played. Maybe he had a son that played at Boston College too. I don't know because I do know he had a son that maybe that was the same son, and he was just really good athlete. Because I think it's like Chris Herron Jr., but he played football for Alabama. But no, I really like your list, man. Because I'm kind of rambling at this point, so I'm gonna just get on to mine. So, the one as far as living up to the overachiever, because that's the one. Dude,
Yeah,
honestly, I didn't even
it
think of
has
Tom
to be
Brady.
Tom Brady.
I was
It
at Drew
has to be.
Brees. I say,
No, I mean yes, but no.
well, I feel you talk like the reason I didn't pick Tom Brady that day didn't really come to mind just because I feel like I don't really know how to say it. It's gonna sound not stupid, but I don't really know how to say it. Like I know Tom Brady was picked 199th. I know he ran what a fucking 50-second 40-yard. Just kidding, like a what, like a 6'1" 40-yard dash or something.
Yeah, it was bad.
For some, but it was like as soon as Brady got in the NFL and as soon as he got a little taste, we were like, all right, like this guy, we fucked up by picking him this late. You know, he was still the pro. I mean, Brady's what 6'4", 6'5", slow as a bitch, but he's still somewhat
Prototypical
prototypical
quarterback.
as far as yeah. But Breeze, I mean, the reason I say Breeze isn't just because of his height. It's because he was not Drew Brees in San Diego was not Drew Brees that is revered beyond belief now. Like it,
Oh, absolutely not.
maybe comeback player would be a better, category to put him in. But yeah, I think Drew Brees was. I always go back to the injury when he was in San Diego, and they thought that was supposed to. And that's why I put him ahead of Brady. They thought that was supposed to be the end for him. With Brady, we were never like, oh shit, like this guy's never gonna make it. Like, yeah, he was picked 199th, but after a while, or like not even after a while, right away, we were like, all right, yeah, we fucked up. Like this is definitely a pro. Drew Brees, it was like, is this guy even a good quarterback? And then he goes and breaks the all-time passing record. Obviously, Brady broke it later, but as far as the one who's lived up to the hype, I gotta say LeBron. LeBron, Peyton Manning is one that I did not even think of. Bryce Harper is another as well. Because Bryce Harper from Vegas, he was really touted as the next Babe Ruth. Like that dude is
That's a
good.
fair. That's a good one
Otani is
too.
actually another dude that's lived up to the hype. Actually, now that I think about it, because Otani has been better than advertised. You know what I'm
Yeah, he
saying?
has. He
But
has.
is the performance of Otani really matching the hype? It was a huge deal when he came to the Angels. Like I remember it. So Otani, I guess, is another guy that can go on there. As far as biggest bust, hard not saying Ryan Leaf. Um. I mean, because a lot of people want to say Sam Bowie. I had a magazine when I was in sixth grade, and they still rank Sam Bowie as one of the 500 greatest players ever. So obviously, you can't. I don't think you could call a guy a bust just because a Michael Jordan comes along, and it's like we didn't know that shit was gonna happen. Jamarcus Russell's definitely a bust. That's actually the one part of this question I did not prepare for as much as I should have. Um, it's like I'm trying to think. I, because like a lot of the guys, I'm thinking of a lot of football players, but even with Manziel,
That's what came to my head too was just football.
yeah, I mean, because well, the thing is, like, even with oh, you know who's another good one? What the fuck is the big ass dude played for the Packers?
Oh,
Offensive lineman Tony Mandarin. I could be wrong.
Mandrick.
Whatever.
Tony Mandrick.
Yeah, I mean, he was out there lifting fucking weights and at Muscle Beach and shit. He didn't really end up. Did he end up with a good career? I remember them listing him on the bus, but
He was a good player, but like nothing what they thought. You know what I mean?
see, because when I define bust, I try to keep the definition consistent because when I think bust, I think of a guy who we all thought was gonna be the shit and then completely flopped.
Like Anthony
Completely,
Bennett.
like wasn't even good. But that's the thing, though. I know Anthony Bennett was the number one pick in the draft, but like how hype? I guess just being the number one pick in the draft and you just being out of the league in what 2-3 years, that should be enough to like okay,
Well,
yeah. So I guess that's a good
would
one.
Greg Oden be a better
No, I mean Greg
case
Oden was
then?
injuries and he was solid when he was with Portland when he was healthy. I don't think Greg Oden would be a bust. That is one that came to mind for sure. Like that was one of the big ones that
But
came to mind. I don't.
I know it's due to injuries, but he would be considered a bust though.
Would he though?
I think
Why?
so because of how much the injuries derailed his career.
I mean, that's true. I mean, they really were calling him like the next Bill Russell. Like I
That's
remember
what I'm
playing
saying.
against him in college hoops 2K7 and watching him in college. Like that dude was just
He was dominant.
But I mean, but it's not like he wasn't good when he was with the Blazers, though. I mean, granted, he didn't live up to the hype, but he was still solid. Like when they had Roy, him, Batum, like Andre Miller, that team was good.
Not to
I
mention
pro-
he looks like LeBron James' grandfather.
I mean, can we call Tebow a bust?
No.
We all knew he was gonna suck. Um, I'd probably have to go Ryan Leaf, man, just because when I think of bust, I think of Ryan Leaf, and I know you know what clip I'm talking about, the one in the locker room. He's like, cut
Knock
it
it
out, all
off!
right? Yeah. You know what? Fucking earlier, somebody posted, I'm on like an NFL group. It's a pretty cool group. I'll invite you. It's called NFL Retro. And somebody said, who's the best NFL players named Chris? Somebody said Jim Everett. Have you ever seen that shit with Jim Rome? Bro, I was sitting there fucking dying. What did he say? He's like, you know what? He's like, I've been nice, but we can go to a commercial right now. If you call me Chris one more time, he's like, I will. He's like, do it, Chris. Oh my God, bro. But yeah, when I think of Ryan Leaf, bro, the reason he always comes to mind is just because, and that's fantastic, man. I'm really happy to hear that he's gotten his life on track. But it's like he's the guy that it was the most visible. You could see the pressure gets to him. The NFL, professional sports, the world is cutthroat. When you let people know that you're feeling the pressure, it's not going to get any better.
No, agreed. Well, I think that was a great question, buddy. I think this wraps up the show for tonight. My condolences on your homie, dude. I hope you have a good night and try to see, reminisce on the good times y'all had. And I know it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's just keep your head up, buddy.
Yeah, man, it's for sure. I really appreciate it, man. You know what I'm saying? I needed to take a second because I was like, I got to get myself in the right frame of mind. I came back stuttering still, but I really appreciate it, man.
Sorry, man. You finished the show like a shoulder, buddy. Just like a soldier. Jesus Christ, I can't. You did great, man.
I appreciate it, man. And I also really appreciate you and Justin, man, because you guys are always calling me a bitch. In all seriousness, man, like you guys really helped me, just not take shit too seriously, man. Like really just not live in the moment. That's kind of too corny, but you guys really helped me too, man. So I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. Since Justin isn't here to do his little talent thing, I'll just say, where's Chris at? Oh, Chris takes pants off. What time does LeBron get in the shower? Good night, mixed reactions.
Well, wait, before we go, just want to say one thing. No matter what he says, it's always going to be Ian's Las Vegas Raiders.